In this video, I'm going to show you why you should lock yourself in your room or in your office until you make $10,000 per month consistently. So as you can see on my screen, I've included some proof to show you I actually make money and I'm not just some dude in his mother's basement making videos about stuff he doesn't understand. Now I've also included some pictures of me during my everyday life, and I know that no matter how much proof I put, I'm not going to convince everybody. But that's okay because I'm moving on and I'm making money either way. So first, when we get to 30,000 subs on YouTube, I'll give away $2,000. All you need to do to win that money is to watch until the end, subscribe, and share the video with a friend. And I also have a gift for you. In the description of this video, you will find a free 0 to 1.2k a day training where I show you everything I did step by step to build my business. And you can also book your free strategy call with me, where together we'll come up with a game plan for you to go from 0 or wherever you are right now to 10k per month as quickly as possible, exactly like I help my customers to do. Now with that said, why I locked myself in a room to make $10,000? So there's three things as you can see on the screen, and I'm going to share them with you right now. The first thing is, the problem isn't a lack of time or of energy, it's focus. Most people think the reason why they're not making as much money as they want is because they don't have these things, time or energy. In reality, they can't focus. Studies have shown that the average employee spends only 2 to 4 hours per day actually working while they're at work. So the amount of time we waste on unnecessary tasks, it's insane. And if you're an employee, you don't really care about your job, or like you just leave to make money for a paycheck because you need to survive, then I guess that's okay. But when you're trying to build a real business, to make $10,000 per month, even to make $1 million, whatever your goal is, you can't just, sit in front of your computer and just pretend to do the work. Because if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? You have to do it, which is why you need to learn to focus. So when I'm working, I don't have my phone next to me. I don't have notifications buzzing on my screen. Do you see any notifications right now? No. Do you see any emails popping up on the screen? No. Because we need to focus, and that's how you do high quality work. If you've got people in rooms near you, tell them to stop making noise. Like, do whatever you have to make them. And then when I'm doing some introverted work, for example writing or other things, or even taking calls, I guess it's not introverted work, but I basically lock myself in my office, I put my headphones, and I close the windows. Now the next thing is, if you remove all distractions, focus becomes the new default. So instead of being all burnt out because you spend 12 hours a day working on your business, but you're not actually going anywhere, well, you end up focused. And that's it. You do the boring work that you need to do to succeed and to make money. And then you make a lot of money. And then people look at you and they call you lucky. It's like when I post pictures, these kinds of pictures, some people are inspired, which is amazing. Some people don't believe me. They say that stuff is fake, even though it's actually real money. I feel bad for these people because their mindset shows me they'll never be successful. And the other thing is, some people are just jealous. They're like, how come you live this life? Because I worked for it. I come from the lower middle class. I had to sleep in a basement infested with rats sometimes because it was so warm inside the house. And I'm not from a third world country, but I still had pretty rough circumstances growing up. And so the third thing is, success demands dedication and persistent sacrifice. You can't be dedicated for 1 day or 1 hour a day. That's not dedication. That's you fooling yourself. And as you can see, I put a picture right here of Michael Jordan with his coach, Tim Grover. And he actually wrote 2 books on the subject of being a winner and being relentless. The first book is called Relentless, and the other book is called Winning, by Tim S. Grover. Those books are insane. They give you the mentality of a winner, or at least they describe the mentality of a winner and exactly the sacrifices you need to make to become successful. Because you can't be all over the place and make $1 million or $10,000 per month. It's not going to happen. You need to be like an athlete to treat your business like a matter of life or death and to focus. And so because you'll be less available, you'll be like this guy, working a lot, at least at first, before you can actually have the life that you want and do all sorts of crazy things if you want to do that. And lots of people, they might not understand you. They might be like, why are you doing this? Just why? Well, that's why, because we want to live an incredible life. And so, as you can see, I've got this on the screen. So you may wonder, okay, what is this? This represents your energy, and this is your goal. And so most people, let's say the goal is to reach 10k per month, for example, 10k per month for 100k or $1 million, whatever your goal is. people start, let's say, dropshipping, and then they see affiliate marketing, so they go there. And then they see selling services, so they go here. And then they see like a new AI software, so they go here. And then they go here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And they never even reach the goal. Whereas successful people, at first they might fail a bit, not know exactly what's going on, but they reach their goal. As you can see, they reach the goal. And the reason why this isn't just a straight line to the goal is because life is never a straight line. You've got successes, you've got failures, but it has to be like the stock market. So for example, if we've got this chart, your success should be something like that, as you can see. It's not like this directly. That's too easy. But most people never get to that point because they're here. That's what they're doing, most people. And then that's where they go. Now, let's take a look at why 99% of people never even make $1 online. I'm not joking. The first thing is they're super distracted and they have shiny object syndrome. So just like I shared with you, that's what they're doing. And they're not even realizing it. They're like, oh my God, but I'm working 12 hours per day. And yeah, I'm still not rich. Well, that's the reason why, because look at what you're doing. The goal is here. What are you doing here? Instead, successful people, okay, they focus. And if you don't have a proven step-by-step process to follow, then I understand why you feel burned out, because you work on the wrong thing. And then, of course, you feel like you're just spinning your wheels endlessly and like nothing is happening. Of course. Now, the other thing is, most people pick the wrong business models that don't work. So, I mean, for example, most business models are trash, because with these business models, you get tiny profit margins. So tiny profits. On top of that, you need lots of sales because the products that you sell, they're cheap. So if we do the math with our method, so I'm going to write our, so you know this is our method. And most business models, so most, if they make $10,000, how much do they actually keep? Because what matters is what goes in your pocket, what you keep, not what you make. Unless you want to flex revenue, but then you're actually broke, still living in a basement. So you made $10,000 with dropshipping or Amazon FBA or Printful or ClickBank or whatever. Well, you actually only keep 5 to 20% of what you make, which is nothing. So I mean, that means you only keep $500 to $2,000. And initially, remember, you made 10K. But now you're making like the same amount of money or even less money than somebody working full-time at a fast food joint. So honestly, you may as well just work at McDonald's. And that's considering you made 10 grand. What happens if you only make 2 grand? That could allow you to live, right? But not when you've got 5 to 20% in profit margins. Like if you made 5K, you divide this by 2. So now you've only made $250 to $1,000. Can you afford any type of decent life with that? No, you can't, because that's even before you pay taxes. So you're more broke than somebody working at a fast food joint with most of those business models. Realize that. They're keeping you broke. They're the reason why you're still broke, or at least not making as much money as you want, or stuck in a job that you hate, or just not financially free in general. Dropshipping kept me stuck for a long time. I lost thousands of dollars, months of my life on dropshipping, because it's garbage opportunities. Now it's our method. So we make $10,000, for example. How much do we actually keep to be conservative? 80 to 95%, meaning we get to keep $8,000 to $9,500 for every $10,000 we make. So honestly, which one would you rather have? Would you rather keep 5 to 20% or 80 to 95%? I think the answer is pretty obvious. So why we do high-ticket consulting instead? You may be wondering, okay, that's great, but how do you actually make the $10,000? What do you do exactly? What's the business model? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We solve very painful problems for people. So I can give you a few examples. For example, some of my customers, they help men to get dates. Some of my customers, they help people, like for example, busy executives, get in shape. I help people start or grow a business. Some of my customers, they do done-for-you lead generation services. And some of them, since they didn't have the skills to do it, for example, they're providing lead generation services or video editing services by leveraging remote contractors. Because that way they don't have to do the work themselves. They just focus on finding clients, closing clients, and then they use contractors just like most businesses use employees. But the advantage of leveraging remote contractors is that you only ever pay a contractor after the client paid you. So for you, it's like risk-free. Like some of my customers, they do emotional intelligence coaching and they charge thousands for it. So it's like, as long as you have a knowledge or a skill or a passion or something that you're interested in, chances are you can create an offer around it. So the first thing is, well, we just broke down the math to $10,000 with dropshipping versus with a high-ticket consulting business. And we forgot one thing actually. With dropshipping, your average price per customer is going to be $50 to $100 on average. Whereas with our method, the way we do consulting, it's between $1,000, and that's the lower end, to $5,000. Some offers, they sell for $8,000, for $10,000. Some offers even sell for $30,000 per year and more. So, I mean, if you wanted to make 10K with that, you would need 200 sales, which is a lot of sales. But for us, we'd only need, for example, 10 customers at 1K or 5 customers at 2K. Honestly, which one do you think is easier, getting 200 people to pay you or 10 to 5? Like, come on, it's pretty obvious. Now, sometimes people say, okay, that sounds amazing, but wouldn't it be easier to sell cheaper products to more people? Well, actually, no. Because the people who are willing to spend money, like if they've got painful problems to solve, it's worth a lot of money. For example, the other day, I was talking to one of my customers, Azar. He joined with us around mid-January, and within 4 weeks of joining the program, he actually got his investment back. He got his first high-ticket customer, and he spent no money on ads, meaning he got 95% in profit margins. Really. And what he told me on the call was that the thing that was crazy is that before buying something, for example, the kind of solutions I offer, you don't realize the massive return on investment you can get. For example, let's say I charged $10,000. That's not my price, but that's just giving you, it's an example, okay? Let's say I charged $10,000 to help you to get a $10,000 to $30,000 per month business off the ground. So meaning every month, it's guaranteed, let's say. You make 10 to 30K per month. Don't you think if it was 100% guaranteed, you would find a way to come up with $10,000 to pay for that offer, to know how to do it? Yes, you would. And so what my customer Azar shared with me on the call is that the perceived return on investment that you have right now, it might be small because you don't know how this could change your life. You don't even realize it. Whereas when you sell like an average dropshipping product, you charge $50 to $100. But with consulting, you charge $1,000 to $5,000 because you help people to fix very painful problems they have. And it's life-changing results. If you can help somebody to get in shape, and they've been overweight for over a decade, they've been struggling with it, like even maybe their whole life, what do you think it's worth to them? $50? I mean, come on. And in my experience, people who pay the least, they are horrible to deal with. They want refunds for literally no reason. They bother you constantly in the customer support. Like, they're honestly so annoying. But people who pay the most, they're usually premium types of customers. And so they show up on time, they say thank you, they put in the work, and they're respectful. And they're amazing to work with. So I'd much rather work with fewer but better customers and make more money more easily with higher profit margins than like fight for scraps like everybody else and do the same useless business models. Now, Skull is a great business model if you're famous. That's why I still put it as most business models are trash. Because most people do not have an audience of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers, which is what you need if you want to make lots of money with a Skull community. Because it's what, a $50 per month or $100 per month membership. So you need lots of customers. And just because somebody stays for 1 month doesn't mean they're gonna stay for, 10 months. Now, the other reason why we do it is because, like I said, in short, we've got high profit margins, lots of funds, great customers, more client success, you get more testimonials, which lead to more social proof, which make you more money, you scale faster, and you love life. It's incredible. So you may wonder, what's the key to success online then? It's picking the right business model, not being distracted by removing all distractions, but then what else? Well, for example, working on the right business model, like I said, and removing all distractions and going hard. So if you guessed it, congrats. And so as you can see on the screen, I've put Netflix, video games, being on your phone, and especially if the first thing you do in the morning is grab your phone and scroll on TikTok or whatever, horrible. All this junk food that's basically poisoning your body, and then using social media. I'm not saying you can never do these activities. Come on, sometimes you can watch your Netflix, sometimes you can play your games. But what you want to do is to be ruthless about your goals. Set big goals. The first thing is dream big, because if you've got tiny goals, you won't be motivated. I wouldn't be working so hard 10, 12, 13 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week, if I could only make $1,000 a month. That wouldn't be worth it. I'm doing it because I'm thinking 100K per month, plus I'm thinking multiple 6 figures per month, Now it's worth it to sacrifice a couple of years working like a maniac to achieve it. Because then when I'm free, when I make 500k per month, most of it being profit, can you imagine how much I can provide for the people I love and the impact I can have on the world in general? The type of companies I can build? I want to build other bigger companies as well. And that requires a lot of money. So tiny goals will not motivate you. Now, be honest with yourself. If you knew how to make $10,000 per month online or more, then chances are you would have done it already. So, which is why right now, I'm offering free strategy calls where together, we'll come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. Now, if you're interested, make sure to book your call by clicking on the links in the description or pinned comment because our limited spots fill up extremely quickly. With that being said, I will see you on the other side.